is standardised tests. The fastest way to terrify any child with 5 letters outside of just whispering the word clown is Mother's Day. It's the day we honour moms, as opposed to every other day when we look at our phones and go, yeah, not now. And we begin with Vladimir Putin, the only man who misses the 80s more than David Lee Roth. And we begin with Vladimir Putin, the man most likely to be currently staring at a poster of a wolf while doing hammer curls. Finally, tonight, the Earth. You may know it as that blue thing Bruce Willis is always trying to save. Or from its famous collaboration with Wind and Fire. And we begin with diplomacy. War for pussies. With the NSA, the most obnoxious record collectors outside of hipsters who insist that vinyl sounds warmer. Toyota, makers of the '92 Camry where you got your first backseat handjob. Fanta, the button on a vending machine most likely to be covered by a piece of masking tape crudely labelled root beer. For McDonald's, makers of the world's most affordable heart disease. It's the restaurant whose logo represents the 2 massive spikes in blood pressure you'll experience after eating there. In a word, ISIS. In 3 words, holy fuck ISIS. With ISIS, the Ebola of people. Let's move on to cars, the smartest characters in the Fast and Furious movies. So let's move on to the UN, the sister organisation of the International House of Pancakes. The UN General Assembly, the annual event where delegates come from all over the world to fuck up this city's traffic. Twitter. It's not just for pithy observations, dick pics, or messages to your favourite One Direction member who for some reason never responds to you. What is wrong, Liam? What part of you up don't you understand? Finally this week, money. It turns out if you offer Robert De Niro enough of it, he'll appear in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Let's move on to cybersecurity. The only reason most of us know our mother's maiden name. It's to Starbucks, the acoustic Alanis Morissette album with a coffee house wrapped around it. The Penny, once again on the cover of this month's Infant Swallowables magazine, is the Port Authority bus terminal, also known as the single worst place on planet Earth. It is... Let me explain how bad. It is a place... It's a place where cockroaches run up to people screaming, please, get me out of here! This place is disgusting! Bud Light. If Budweiser is the king of beers, then Bud Light is the feudal peasant covered in donkey shit of beers. Concerns the internet. It's a place where you can see incredible things like glamour shots of cats, Angora show bunnies, or even this rare, heartbreaking footage of an injured World War I soldier returning home to his pregnant wife. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. You idiots! I got you so good! I got you so good! That's right, Bitcoin. The currency of choice for heroin dealers and assassins is now perfectly fine for political candidates to accept. Specifically about Warren G. Harding, America's 29th president, whose greatest achievement was dying 2 years into his first term. Let's move on now to American history. You know, the thing that Disney's Pocahontas improved on. This student debt is like HPV. If you go to college, you're almost certainly going to get it. And if you do, it will follow you for the rest of your life. Hitler. Or as I prefer to call him, Mr. Ava Braun. Hashtag feminism, hashtag Hitler. And we begin here in New York with Pride, the day that makes every colour that's not on the rainbow flag feel like a worthless sack of shit. Now, our main story tonight, drones. They're the 3rd most annoying thing in the sky after mosquitoes and plastic bags caught in the breeze. They are not gorgeous, weird kid from American Beauty. They're trash and they kill sea turtles. You've got turtle blood on your hands. Let's move on to the Supreme Court. America's 9 most fascinating legal scholars or 9 most boring wizards. The Confederate battle flag, also known as the Leonard Skinner comforter. Finally tonight, social media. That thing Cher almost understands how to use. Almost. A quick recap of the week. In a nutshell, Gaza, horrific. Ebola, spreading. And Syria, to be honest, it's barely been reported on, but let's assume it's still fucking awful. Translation. We've all seen the comic ways in which it can go wrong. The Chinese signs that say things like, do drunken driving, or fuck vegetables. But to be fair, yes, that's a silly sign, but at the same time, fuck vegetables, am I right? Am I right? Our main story tonight is income inequality. A good way to figure out which side of it you're on is whether you're currently paying for HBO or stealing it. Last December, some of you laughed a little too hard at that.